It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the incomparable Travis Kelce. There's been no shortage of work for him, sitting second in the league in catches. It's the Chiefs and the Raiders, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
The usual sea of red here in this spectacular venue has been turned white as we are high above snowy GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in KC. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. A very Merry Christmas Day, everyone. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, this, the first of three here on this Monday, and it starts with a couple of rivals with history back to the AFL days.
History indeed. Great games. Teams that had to go through each other in order to accomplish what they wanted, which was to get to the Super Bowl. And remember just a few years ago, Kansas City, they've owned this rivalry in recent years, but the Raiders went to Kansas City and won. And remember taking a victory lap around the stadium on the way to the airport in their team bus.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the defending champs, led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, a two-time winner now in Patrick Mahomes.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
Mahomes throw here complete to Kelce. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run with Samaje's younger cousin. This is LaMichael Pirine. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. Mahomes going to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 12. And it was the Chiefs who got the road victory there, so now looking to claim the season series at home in KC. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down, even though he's still in the pocket. He had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
And a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. And that's incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Butker's kick here is good, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. That was a long, sustained opening drive, but in the end, only able to get 3, the field goal out of it.
And absolutely, you'll take the points and the early leads. You never get those back, but there will be a little bit of disappointment that they didn't punch it in for 6 after that kind of yardage and that kind of drive that they had.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former #3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And Lance's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Lance now to throw. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. To throw, it's Lance. It's Edwards again. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. The Raiders in trouble to start play, 6-8 on the year. And they've lost 3 straight here. And it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football. But if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Lance looking to throw it. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Jacobs going to try the middle, shedding the tackle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And the Raiders are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Jacobs going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they come up now, 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the KC crowd can make it very tough. The left side throw complete to Adams. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Carlson able to put this one through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, They just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Another drive coming for KC, and we'll see Marquez Valdez-Scantling once again. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season, so now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelsey for a big one. And even 40 yards. That'll grab another career milestone for him. 900 career catches now.
All right, the applause is beginning, right? The applause is going on. That puts him just outside the top 20 all-time in the NFL. Next in his sights at 903, Wes Welker.
Rarefied air. Dropping it off underneath. Here's P-Ryan. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Up the middle, here's P-Ryan. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Robert Spillane, ex of the Steelers, is there on the stop.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Mahomes to throw on second down. He finds P-Ryan out of the backfield. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Butker's kick here is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of the dome. And there have been 2 ways.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Andrew Van Ginkel there on the stop. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Here's Lance. The left side completion to Jones. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Short throw, that's hauled in by Mayer. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. And Lance going to throw. It gets it right back to Mayer. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. Hand off here for P. Ryan. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. First down, they go back to P. Ryan. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Butker's kick here is good, and they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case,
well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And Jacobs is going to have a Raiders first down as he'll get this across the 50 to the 49.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Throwing on first down is Lance. And that'll be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Lance to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On second down, P. Ryan. Showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Come on, set. Ready.
The handoff, Jacobs running to the left. He's got it to the 43 here. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Throwing now is Lance. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Lance. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 3. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And they're knocking on the door now As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line. On second down, Jacobs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Throwing his Lance on third down. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth. We are off to the fourth quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The kick by Carlson is good, and that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. So he's good with that one, but remember, he did miss one earlier, and right now that's the difference in the ballgame.
And he knows it all too well, but also understands he can't dwell on it. He's got that one through. That's what counts at this point.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know, it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Well, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament. And certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Mahomes now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. You don't see that too often, Charles. He punted that away and then hustled up to make the stop as well.
Yeah, because oftentimes they serve as their own safety after punting it. You want to be the last guy, but he decided to get involved in the action, didn't he? And what a spark that's got to provide for the rest of his team when they see their punter out there making a nice hit.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On play action, Lance. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. Now Lance. And this one is incomplete.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's Watson. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Pushes him over. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 71 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Mahomes to MVS there for the Kansas City first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield and only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Mahomes to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they'll indeed take a knee. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They'll hand it to Pirine. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is where the mental part of the game comes into play. Defense is out of timeouts. Just hold on to the football. No sense really trying to score. They should be able to run this one out.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.